to the entertaining Talkin' Sports.
What is going on, football fans? Back at it with another New York Giants video. And in this video, we're going to talk about Bret Bielema. Now, before I get started, I just want to let everybody know that today I will be live streaming the Senior Bowl. It starts at 2:30. It'll be on the NFL Network. I cannot show the game, but I'll be doing a play-by-play, and it's kind of just a hangout and kind of like a Q&A. You know, I'll probably title it Q&A. It'll be like a Giants Q&A along with, you know, scouting out some of the players that the New York Giants may be looking at. I've written down a number of players, about 7 or 8 players that I'll be looking at. But if you guys have any suggestions of prospects that you were interested in this game, please feel free to drop them in the comments below. But yeah, in this video, I'm going to be talking about Bret Bielema. Bret Bielema, of course, was hired by the New York Giants, I don't know, about 4 or 5 days ago. And he was a hiring I was really excited about. This guy's had a lot of success throughout his career, mainly as a head coach. His experience has been predominantly on the defensive side of the football. When he was hired, we were told initially, or it was assumed initially, that he would be a defensive line coach because, after all, that is what he was with the New England Patriots. But then it later came out that his role was undefined, and they were still working on the exact role that Bielema would bring to this defense. Now, when you go back and look at Bielema's history as a college head coach, probably his best accomplishment is J.J. Watt. J.J. Watt came onto the team as a walk-on. I think he was a former tight end at his previous university, and now, you know, he's arguably, when healthy, the best pass rusher in football. And obviously he went to Wisconsin, and Bielema was his coach. So that is probably why he was given the defensive line coach, you know, with the New England Patriots. And now will be given the outside linebackers coach with the New York Giants, along with another title that I'll pull up when I pull up the slides. But yeah, so he'll be the outside linebacker coach, and what his primary objective is going to be is to teach these younger players who have some talent in a Lorenzo Carter and an O'Shane Ximines to get after the quarterback. Lorenzo Carter, I think, is a player last year that a lot of Giants fans had very high hopes for going into this season. After he had a pretty strong rookie campaign where he had 4.5 sacks, I think, in limited duty. This year, I think he matched that total, but he was kind of underwhelming in terms of getting after the quarterback. He was pretty good in pass coverage, where he ranked pretty high on PFF, and you definitely saw it. He's got the speed, the athleticism to be pretty good in pass coverage, and a lot of Giants fans have called for him to switch to the middle linebacker position, but that is what Bielema's job is going to be, along if we draft a pass rusher early on, and that is a very important position for this New York Giants team. After all, we've said over and over and over again, how important it is to get after the quarterback and how much New York Giants fans want the Giants to go out there and get a pass rusher. So that's what Bielema's role is going to be. I think he also brings a lot of experience to this staff, specifically on the defensive side. Patrick Graham is not the most experienced of defensive coordinators, so Bielema will certainly bring some expertise there and probably assist Patrick Graham in his job. I think it'll only help. The other thing, some people have asked me, what is Bret Bielema's motive to come on here and basically take a lateral move? Because after all, with the New England Patriots, he was the defensive line coach. Now he's similar role, offensive line coach and outside linebackers coach, and I think he's got some kind of senior assistant title as well. So maybe it's a bit of a resume builder. But I think his obviously he's worked with Joe Judge. That's the link. We're going to go over the resume in a second. But I think he looks at the Patriots and maybe he doesn't feel like he's going to be able to move up with that organization. He looks at the Giants. He sees a young defensive coordinator that maybe won't do so well, and maybe he'll be able to take the job. Or Patrick Graham could do a great job, and then he maybe gets a head coaching gig somewhere else, and Bielema can move up to the defensive coordinator. That's just my line of thinking. I could be completely wrong, but that's where I am with Bielema. I think he's obviously trying to work his way up the ranks to eventually become a head coach or at least a defensive coordinator. So that's my theory on Bielema's motive for taking this position. And obviously probably likes working with Joe Judge and sees potential. But the first thing, obviously I want to pull up, and I'm going to do it real quickly because I, talked about it in my previous Bielema video. But when you look at his resume, it's all defensive based, right? He was a linebackers coach at Iowa. He was a co-defensive coordinator at Kansas State, then became a defensive coordinator, then obviously the head coach for about 10 years between Wisconsin and Arkansas, where obviously he had more of a defensive mindset. And then he became the consultant to the head coach with the Patriots before becoming the defensive line coach, and now is the outside linebackers coach and senior defensive assistant. So, in my opinion, he probably specializes in pass rushers, being that he turned J.J. Watt into, like I said, arguably the best pass rusher in football for a pretty long period of time. And he was a walk-on when he went to Wisconsin. So that is hopefully what he could do with the New York Giants. And that's exactly what Giants Wire said. And I'll pull up that quote in a second when talking about the young Giants pass rushers. And I think the thought process for bringing on Bielema to be the outside linebackers coach. But here is the tweet from Adam Kaplan talking about the exact role. New Giants assistant coach Bret Bielema's title is outside linebackers coach and senior assistant. So this came out, I think, yesterday, but I did not find out about it until late last night. And that will be his role with the New York Giants, and I think it's a very important role. And I think he's going to play a big factor in this team's success if the defense gets a lot better next year. And then finally, this is one other thing I wanted to show you guys. The 50-year-old Bielema was the New England Patriots' defensive line coach in 2019 after spending the previous season as a special consultant to head coach Bill Belichick. Bielema has a long history of coaching success on the college level, compiling a 97-58 record as the head coach at Wisconsin and Arkansas. So that's just going over, his record and his experience as a head coach. But yeah, I do like him, and again, once again, like all these coaches, I like that Bielema has a link to that of a Joe Judge, being that they both coach with the New England Patriots, and I think it's going to be a really good fit. I'm looking forward to seeing what Bielema could bring to the New York Giants, and to see if he could get the most out of the Lorenzo Carters and the O'Shane Zimenez of the world, and along with if we draft a pass rusher either in the first or the second round. So yeah, really exciting stuff there. Bielema is probably, if he's not my favorite hire in terms of the lower coaching staff, he's right up there. I love the Colombo hire. I love the Bielema hire. I really like the Garrett hire. I know some people might not like hearing that, but I'm a big fan of the Bielema hire. He brings a lot of experience, and he's motivated to try to move up and get a better job in the future. I clearly think this guy's still relatively young. He's trying to become a head coach at some point or a defensive coordinator. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, Bielema will be in charge, essentially, of the pass rush for the New York Giants. So as always, if you liked what you watched, please subscribe, drop a comment, maybe give me a little thumbs up. Cheers.